So the captain's curse continues, so no Neats and no Harley. Toss of the coin.
Heads is the call. Tails.
Go up.
Thanks, James. Good on you,
It's
mate.
James McDonald and Cameron Ling. Let's go down and join Rick Olorenshaw. Rick, Nathan Ablett.
Yeah, strange one. Nathan Ablett did the warm-up with the team. Just before the coin toss, he took himself off the ground and he's gone into the rooms with the physio. There's a chance he may not play, but it's a real strange one. On the Melbourne play, we saw some surgery yesterday to a couple of their players, Clint Barton and Russell Robinson. Barton, they found some cartilage problems. He's going to miss up to 8 weeks, and Russell Robinson has got a fracture inside his knee, very similar to Stephen Phoebe a few years back. They say he's going to miss 6 weeks, but Stephen Phoebe actually missed most of the season, so that could be more serious than first thought.
Keep an eye on Ablett. That's interesting. We're here Friday night, and Clement, of course, in the warm-up for Collingwood.
That's right. And Hyde the week before got run into. Almost have a goal-to-goal line. Dangerous place, the warm-up. So Hawkins starts on the ground. Opening bounce. Umpires today, Ellis, Hendry and Avon. Blake has to wait. White over the top. Ling, Bartel feeds it back. This is Hunt. Towards half forward. Some carry on the ball. Chapman perched behind to Ablett, surrounded by demons. Carroll got him. Johnston emerges with a football towards the wing. Maloney, the former Cat, feeds it off nicely. The run of Bruce goes down towards half forward. Davies got it. 55 metres out.
That's a great sign.
Bait offers. He goes shorter. Bruce had it knocked away. Green pushes it forward. Corey across on the angle, and it's out of bounds.
As we look at the Melbourne bench, Adam Uze on his back there had that long run of almost 10 years of continuous footy, broken last week, 226 consecutive.
Oh.
Well, you reckon the Demons will be red hot early here. If they're not, then their fans will be livid. Feel like they've got to make a statement early in this match after the disappointing start to this season. Blake.
This will be interesting.
He doesn't kick it a lot, you're right, Tim. More the handball when he does get hold of it. Whelan caught up. Let's go down and join the Ox.
Well, a lot of confusion down here. Brad Ottens has gone to full forward. He's being picked up by Ben Holland. Cameron Mooney's being picked up by Nathan Carroll. And just looking at the Melbourne forwards, Aaron Davey being picked up by David Johnson. Travis Johnson is being picked up by Cameron Ling.
Ablett runs to 50, sets it long. Ferguson goes back, but runs away from him. Opening the score.
James McDonald's gone to Gary Hocking.
Ferguson in quickly.
For him.
Holland in the back pocket. Bright sunny day. Great day for footy. Not 15. Heard the umpire. Holland gets it back from Ward. They're under pressure. They made the pressure. And as a result, Geelong, I think, will get a free kick. And it's going to Hawkins. Hawkins. A chance now to kick Geelong's first goal. Last week his first goal was their 18th. Just scratching it out. And as a token of respect, you can see he's wearing Mark Bradkey's shorts.
He's a big boy, isn't he? We watched him run out onto the ground, and he is a monster, Tom Hawkins.
You know you're in when the umpires call you Hawkey. Second game, first kick in that game. Right on the 50. Sends it goalward. It's working back. What a start!
Tom Hawkins kicked 3 goals last week on debut. Just terrific play then, just to concentrate and smother this ball. And just to earn the free kick then, Holland just jumping into his back. But I reckon it's probably upset the Geelong forward line a little bit, that injury to Nathan Ablett in the warm-up. I'm sure Ottens was going to start in the ruck, and Nathan Ablett would have started in the goal square alongside Tom Hawkins.
Well, it's a dream start, isn't it, for the Cat fans? If you can catch it and kick it, and that's what Hawkins can do, you've got a great chance in AFL footy. What a start he's had at 18 years of age. Wojcinski. Rick, what's happening with Nathan Ablett?
Nathan Ablett felt ill in the warm-up out in the ground. He tried to get through it, but he just felt too ill, so they took him off the ground. And currently Joel Selwood is getting changed, and he's going to replace Nathan in the side.
Gee, that's interesting. So Selwood into the 22 for Ablett. White to Whelan. Whelan to half forward to Bruce. He was a headliner, Whelan, the last time we saw them here, wasn't he, on the opening night of the season?
Too high, but they've got to hold Geelong up here. They've just got to make sure that the ball doesn't come out quickly.
Trying to do it, Tim. Hunt.
There's a win for Melbourne, this.
So Hunt's kick to centre wing. Good kick, good mark by Mooney, who's been in spectacular form.
Go back and get a Cam.
Now they've got to get back and cover the space here.
Come around, Cam, thanks.
Hawkins inside the 50 alongside Ottens.
Punishing kick down towards Ottens. Knocked away by Ferguson. Well done. Loose ball. Holland. I think as far as Milburn. Now here's a chance. Chapman over the top. Milburn deep in the pocket. How will it bounce? Was it touched? I think it may have been. Johnston just got there. Milburn prepared to push up the ground. Loves to come running and loves to kick a goal. Brown is off. So that's interesting. Selwood into the 22 for Nathan Ablett. I would say timing the key there. He was in the warm-up, came off the ground. One wonders whether it's kosher initially, but it must be. Bell on the outer side now. A chance for Carroll. Leisurely bounce. Runs beyond the wing. Kicks inside the forward 50. Jamar launches himself. Follows up well. Then lost the football. Chance for Davey. Slapped in his direction by Miller. Stolen away by Ablett. Clears the zone. Mooney on the outer side.
And goes short for Burns. Now Ottens is one out, but they won't go quite that far. Ling running hard on Johnston. And then Ling tries to take Johnston on and gets around him far too easily. And then kicks to Hawkins.
You just can't allow yourself to be brushed off like Travis Johnson was. He's going to have a hard afternoon this afternoon because Ling's going to wear him the whole way. And as soon as Geelong get on their bike and they start controlling the ball, he's going to run offensively too. And that's really going to test Travis Johnson this afternoon. Carroll was far too far off his man at centre wing there when Mooney pushed up to be the release player from defence too.
So Tom Hawkins, his first AFL game of the MCG. Playing at Telstra Dome when he's 3. Get a great look from behind. He kicked 3 last week and he's kicked 1-1 so far today. I do find that intriguing that Nathan Ablett comes out ill and he can be replaced.
Particularly when he went out onto the ground, did the warm-up and actually went through the gates to the interchange bench as well.
Here's Whelan towards the outer side wing. Mooney did well. Ling feigns a hand pass, then ran into trouble. That's got to be holding it. Waiting for him was Bell.
That's how you wrap someone up.
Short one to centre half back. McDonald, best and fairest last season, to Ward. Ward between the lines, kicks beyond the wing. Ferguson thought about going inboard to Green. Heard the umpire. Hasn't gone. Ferguson pops it up inside the 50. Big pack at the drop. In front, Hunt taken down. Loose ball spills. Maloney nowhere to go. In goes Ablett. Well done, Hunt. Came again. Burst through half back. Kicks to half forward. Mooney claimed immediately by Carroll. Surrounded by Melbourne players. Ferguson gets away from a would-be tackler. Goes to half forward. Well done, Egan. Knocked it down to Hunt. Clever hand pass. Too clever as it turned out. Corey made it look okay. Blake. Johnson stood up in the tackle. Well done, Uze. Well intercepted there. The bait hand pass intended for Uze. Chopped off by Hunt. And now Ablett is running.
With a couple of bounces. His kick, interesting. Oh, good mark. Chapman. Run down, though, by Ward. Did well, Ward, in the end. And Carroll takes the mark. Bate needed a reflex handball. He needed to do something instinctive, didn't he?
And the worst part about that was that James McDonald was actually one of those 3 players waiting to receive the handball, and then it was his man, Gary Ablett, that got the rebound.
Oh, this is awful. Carroll in big trouble. Johnston in the pocket. Still in the pocket. Trying to get out of the pocket. Doesn't escape. Burns left foot. Real chance here. Mark taken by Melbourne. Oh, this is a messy old goal. To come back, Ling's goal. There's a count.
Come back around. I blew time. I blew time.
Gee, Melbourne have been awful, haven't they? In the last minute or two. Melbourne turns 30 today. Tim, he'd be feeling old. He's the only bloke in the team over 27.
Just one more. Thank you.
Maybe he was feeling too old to take that kick. Don't know what was going through his mind there, handballing over the top like that. Go back and kick the ball when you're on the top of the 10-metre square.
Nothing wrong with his durability, as you saw on those stats a moment ago. And he does kick a goal. Well, the favourites are off to a flying start, aren't they?
And the signs aren't good for Melbourne in the early part of this game. Bombing the ball forward, that will play right into the defensive hands of Geelong today. Good forward line pressure here. Travis Johnson just tries to keep the ball alive. He would have been better off just trying to disguise that and taking it over the boundary line. That's the first bit of play there that forced that turnover to Shannon Burns. And he was actually trying to kick the goal then, Shannon Burns, and Melbourne had drifted forward.
Melbourne adding to Melbourne's woes there. I think it's fair to say last week he had the season's toughest holding the ball decision played against him, and that resulted in a Carlton goal. Down goes Otten's touch. Socket off the ground there by Johnston. Towards half forward. Miller dragged down, feeds it out. Maloney left it behind. Chapman, clever. Bartell gained about 15 metres. Johnston under there somewhere. Well done, Bruce. Jones towards half forward. Now a chance for Melbourne. Maloney can run inside the 50. Bate calling for the football. That's ignored. Maloney's shot is pretty good. The former Cat makes an impact.
Cameron Bruce just setting up that bit of play over to Nathan Jones. He was very good last week against Hawthorn. Nathan Jones, particularly when they came and hit the Hawks late in the quarter. Good finishing there by Maloney, but the players just stood off there, man. I know modern day players do that, but I still reckon you've got to put that bloke who's got the ball, carrying the ball, in doubt as to what he's going to do by rushing him.
So Maloney's goal, he kicked 2 last week. And there's Joel Selwood.
I know we see it all the time where players, as Joel Selwood just warming up on the interchange bench there, just players just drift off that bloke that's carrying the ball.
So there's a story on a Selwood warming up for Nathan Ablett. Who, prior to the match, went out, did the warm-up, looked all set to play as far as, I guess, all the fans that we were concerned, came off, and now it looks like Selwood can take his place. Jones, Green got it eventually from Wheatley, but it was smothered. And the Demons needed that Maloney goal. Bruce was very good to Green, to Jones. He's gone. No, he's not.
He's tough.
To Maloney, who's thriving on the occasion and gives it a ride. It'll run away. It's all the way. How good's that? Hey, Timmy, wouldn't you like to do that to your old team if you're Brett Maloney right now?
He enjoyed that, Bruce. Nathan Jones, once again, just watch this. He's almost wrapped up in a tackle there, Nathan Jones. Lucky to just bounce off the first one. It was him that gave the first goal to Maloney a moment ago, and he's been able to follow up and find him again. And that's good, long, direct play by Melbourne.
The man of the moment, Brad Maloney. 4 touches, 2 goals, and suddenly Melbourne right back in it. They trail by just 3 points. Centre square infringement.
Melbourne 3.
Everything falling into place for Melbourne. Guess who? Maloney out of the middle. Long inside the forward 50. Plenty of Cats there. Spilt by Johnson. Davies' kick was smothered. Godfrey gains about 15 metres. Bate knocks at Goldwood. On his knees, Miller feeds it out wide. Chance for Green. Generally pretty good. Not this time. Across the face of goal. Mackey goes back. Has it in the back pocket. Now a chance for the Cats. Ling, forward of half back. Melbourne offers. He virtually stops out there, Ling. Kicks towards half forward eventually. Mooney. Now Chapman inside the centre square. Sends it long down towards Ablett. Bell fingertips to it. Leads back in the race. Ablett outmaneuvered him. Took it out of bounds. Good call by the boundary umpire.
He's up, Gaz. He's up. I'm up there. Mate, he's called it. That's it. Okay, that's enough. End of
More
conversation.
importantly,
It's out of bounds. He's called it.
He was right.
Selwood just getting a rub there on the bench, which is just come off the ground. He was picked up by Godfrey. Godfrey was playing a defensive role on him as a forward. Bomber Thompson's probably just giving him some new instructions about what he wants him to do when he comes back on the ground.
Ling in tight. Ling, the captain for the day. It has been a curse, the captaincy, for a lot of clubs, with a lot of them out and have been over the last couple of years. And there's the bench now. So Selwood in for Nathan Ablett. A real interesting one. Ottens for goal. And just hooks. Here's one for you, Tim. Travis Johnson was #1 in the 97 draft. Brad Ottens was #2. How do you compare how they've gone over the 10 years?
Well, they've had a bumpy ride, both of them.
Thanks. Thanks, Joel. Hold
It's been a bit like a roller coaster, hasn't it? Trent Crowe taken 3. Demons doing all right, though, after Geelong had kicked the first 2.
Green to Wheatley. Runs it around the Yarder's side. Pinpoint kick towards half forward. Gave Miller a chance. Forcing it forward, Bruce. Prismal falling to the ground to Mackey. Mackey's kick floats close to the boundary line. Awkward one for Wheatley. Uze, was he held without it? I think he was. He's getting the free. Let's go down to the boundary.
And Paul Johnson has just come onto the ground. A lot of Demon supporters believe that Johnson, Jamar and White can all play together on the field at the one time.
About to find out. Uze with Davey falling down. Crowd wanting a free. Davey hard on Johnson. And I think Johnson will get the free.
Still a good sign, though, Dennis, that forward line pressure from
into
Melbourne.
him, I thought. He stood his ground and he runs into him. That's what I thought.
No doubting that.
Poke in the eye.
So Geelong on the back foot suddenly, aren't they? After having control early. Hunt called and in strife. Gee, that's a good sign for Melbourne, isn't it?
They're going one-on-one with them right over the field, and at the moment the game's being played on their terms. It's a great sign for them.
And Uze cuts off the Hunt kicking. He was looking for Egan, and Uze inboard to Jones. Good mark though over the top by Johnson. Corey. Milburn's hands were terrific. Back to Corey on the burst. That's a very good setup. Corey wants it again from Burns. He'll go. So Corey's third play has been involved in here and goes bang to full forward. Mooney the target and White over the top to take it.
Read that well then, Jeff White. Oh.
Terrible kick. Just feel like the balloon's been deflated when that happens, don't you? I mean, you've been punching and punching to do something, and suddenly Prismal cuts off a poor kick and can put Geelong in front.
It's damaging when you turn the ball over like that, particularly that part of the ground. The impressive part about Melbourne in the early part, though, has been their tackling. 13 to Geelong's 7, and 5 of those have occurred inside their attacking 50.
So Prismal from 35 metres out, not much of an angle. Straight kick in the end.
Well, Jeff White actually found himself in that position in the first place because he'd followed Matthew Scarlett down the field. He's changing in the ruck with Jamar at full forward. Scarlett had actually ran him right down the other end of the ground. He read the ball really well in the air and took a great mark, but it was just the finishing that was found wanting.
It takes one prick. Melbourne need a new balloon now. 3-4-2-1. White wouldn't be feeling too happy. Maloney was the target, didn't get to him. Blake's in there. Well worked. Comes to Jones from Bruce. The kick goes down towards half forward. Darting across is Johnson. Close to the boundary line. Davey A lot livelier today, working in a phone box out there. Brilliantly done. Just pops it across to Johnson, spilt the mark. Egan sprawls after it, knocks it forward. Now Kelly comes away. Kelly got it from Bartel. He finds Blake at centre-half back.
Handball.
Nice work, Tim. Your voice obviously carries. Hunt goes short, in right. Kicks through centre. Burns moving to space. He's quick over the first couple. Willen was closing, but not in time. Prismal copped one. He's been dogged by injury, that young man. A lot of talent. Burns inside the forward 50. Strong grab. Hawkins again. G likes to present. Hawkins 60 metres out. Not a good kick. Hard to mark. Ferguson dives and takes it. Prismal seems to be okay. Let's go down to David Schwartz.
And Prismal will be just feeling it in the midsection of the body at the moment, because Nathan Jones hit him fair and square as a shepherd.
Corey back to Melbourne. Squares it up.
Good kick.
Blake getting a bit of it. And here's Prismal. Neat kick. Good kick, wasn't it?
On the 50, yep.
They've done that well, haven't they, Geelong, in the early part of this game, just finding that player across centre-half forward as they've come through the midfield. It's a high percentage shot from this part of the ground.
Chapman, who had the super year last year, didn't he? As you said, Tim, feel he's gone to another level here in Gary Ablett.
Thanks, guys.
Takes a big kick. He's given it a little hook to try and get more distance. So he carried the distance, but did hook a little too much. 10-point game. Whelan to bring it in for the D's. Geelong 23-13.
Just over 6 minutes till quarter time. Whelan drives it very long towards the outer side wing. Heard the umpire. Knocked away by Ferguson. Did pretty well in that situation, but Kelly, the beneficiary, comes across the ground to Blake. Some indecision. Blake, let's go now. Good kick too. Melbourne, 50 metres away, looks inside the forward 50, and there's Prismal. Prismal stretching out to mark that one. This not beyond him. A question of accuracy. There's Hawkins up ahead. He's been very lively.
Geelong have taken 5 marks now inside 50, so they've been able to find their players when they've gone forward. They just haven't been able to convert.
Brent Prismal right behind him. Steps to the 50 and kicks beautifully. Splits the middle.
If you're Neil Danaher in the box now, you'd probably be as concerned about the fact that they're taking the marks inside 50 as you would be with the lack of pressure on the player who actually is delivering that ball from the midsection of the ground. On too many occasions already in this game, there hasn't been enough pressure on that Geelong player who's carried the ball.
(29-13). Ricky Olorenshaw.
Yeah, one of Melbourne's tall defenders, Ben Holland, came off the ground about 5 minutes ago. Spoke to the physio about a problem with his left hamstring. He done a couple of run-throughs around the boundary, but didn't appear very happy at all.
So keep an eye on that one too, Rick. So Holland.
On the man, you dumped him after he got rid of it.
Godfrey's free kick. Goals coming from some unlikely sources today. Prismal a couple. Melbourne, who's had a few over the years. And Godfrey actually kicked a couple last week for the D's. Good mark,
boys,
though,
good
by Bartel.
He's a good player, isn't he?
He is, Dennis. He was taken 8 in a super draft, the 8th pick. He's one of the fathers and sons at Ablett. I'm speaking of Kelly. Gee, Prismal's having a quarter, isn't he? Hawkins. Gee, looked to grab. Might have just touched the ground. Melbourne. It's called play on. Still Melbourne. Goes back to Scarlett, who's come up the ground. Scarlett unloads. Chapman's in a good spot. It's a behind. Down to you, Ox.
Joel Sell was just getting ready to come onto the ground. The funny thing was, whilst he was being told that he was about to play, he hadn't done a warm-up, so he would have come on earlier, but he's been doing his warm-up and making sure that he comes on ready to go.
I won't suggest they avoid that at all costs. Here's White, left half back. Told to play on. Little chip short of Jamar. Inviting Jamar to come to the ball. He did that and took the mark. Margin 17 points. Melbourne needing the next goal. Back to Ward, not 15. Short one again. This time Wheatley. At least they're going forward. Wheatley inside the centre square. Once more told to play on. Ferguson finding some space. Ward on the overlap. Penetrating kick. Egan's in front though. Well, he read it well off the boot. Egan just peeled off and came hard at the football.
Did Johnson for pace then on the lead too. Plenty of space here for Scarlett to run.
Scarlett with a hair bobbing. Comes away from half back. Mooney alongside the centre circles. Suddenly Geelong looking sharp. Back to Scarlett. Runs to 55. If anything, this is where their problem starts. Sets it up. Chapman goes back again. It's across the line for a behind.
Second time, Tim, within about 2 minutes, as Scarlett has been able to kick to Chapman. Unopposed Scarlett running through the centre of the ground.
That's where the move of the big tools in the forward line for Melbourne is going to maybe come unstuck this afternoon, because Scarlett, once the ball hits the ground, he's going to rebound hard.
Tell you what, he'll have to play well to play as well as he did last week, Scarlett. He kept fed to no goals. And here we go again. To today's captain in Ling. So Geelong finishing the quarter as they started the term. Right on top. Selwood, is it?
Selwood kicked it.
Just come onto the ground. Just come into the team. And Mooney, who's had a spectacular start to this season. As the Cats race away now.
The real problem's further up the field, as we mentioned earlier, about the play and the number of times that the Geelong players are getting possession unopposed in the mid. Scarlett's pushed right up across half back into the midfield. He's been able to deliver the ball. On that occasion, though, it was Ferguson who completely lost Mooney. He'd moved up the ground. Maloney just snuck out the back and went for that long kick. He could have let that ball go, but I think he did the right thing, actually taking the mark as a forward.
And so far this season, Cam Mooney 9 goals straight. 4 marks, 5 kicks this afternoon. Controlling the half-forward line for the Cats. Ottens opposed to Jamar. Jamar reached it on the way down. Ottens tries to feed it through some legs. Tied up by Jones.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Brad.
Ooh. I reckon he's marked that before it's gone over the line.
Was he controlling it? That would be the question. The goal umpire right there. It may have come out and he grasped it again. Very close call. Maloney. Probing kick. Bartell went for the mark that time. Getting the crumb as Bruce feeds it back. Too tall for McDonald. Selwood arrived quickly. Prismal to Selwood. Left it alone. Ablett went back to assist. Bartell drives it out of defence. A beautiful kick. Ottens to Kelly. Kelly is running on the wing. Goes down towards half forward. Ferguson in front. Some good use of the body by Mooney. Forced the error. Carroll came up though, lending assistance. Johnston. Now Whelan. Just over a minute to go in the term. Melbourne being forced back again. Maloney into the sunshine. I think the sun was a problem. It came out of shadow into sun. Over the top, the balding Pate has got in. Too high.
Oh, your arm came over the shoulder, mate. Your arm came over the shoulder.
Now Chappie is not a happy Chappie.
He's spitting chappies, isn't he, right now?
He's not happy.
Forget the chips. But Whelan was the problem there. The kick was too slow, too high, and in the sun. And Maloney had been free for a long time. It needed quicker movement.
Please, Nathan. Play on.
And the Demons here, 1-on-2 situation. They're falling apart. They're unravelling late in this first turn. Kelly's first game for the season. Prismal's had an outstanding opening turn. It was touched off the boot. Gary Ablett down low. Brilliantly to Chapman. And Chapman for goal. And misses.
He's got a long list because he thought he was interfered with and taken high in the goal square. Then he thought he marked it before it crossed the line. then that last one, and now a miss.
The sharpness then and the speed. Ablett pounced on that ball. The cleanliness too. And then to fire that handball out to Chapman just to release him into that space.
Gary Ablett Jr. averages 16 possessions a game in 9 games against Melbourne. Short one comes in. Maloney. Melbourne, I think, will be happy to go to quarter time. They trail by 25. Don't, whatever you do, multiply that by 4 just yet. Quarter time at the G, and Geelong challenged midway through the term. One error, Bruce alluded to it. White went short to Maloney. It was stolen away. Geelong got a goal, and that really did deflate Melbourne. Their work's in front of them. The margin, 25 points. Don't do that, son. I would not point to my chin when the Campster has got me.
So they've sorted themselves out. They're happy. Cats are really happy because they're 25 in front of the D's at quarter time.
Geelong, the last 7 scoring shots in this game. They've kicked 3-4. Melbourne need to respond. Johnston out of the middle after Jamar put it down his throat. Interesting battle there. Bartel did brilliantly. Out to Ling. Ling sends it through centre towards half forward. Ferguson not able to punch it away.
That's a contested mark.
Mooney a terrific mark. Miscue slightly with a kick. Hawkins got hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Whelan. White. Now Wheatley. Across the ground. Back to Whelan. The W's combining. Who's next in the chain? Whoever. He just kicks it high. Well, it was okay. It was a good kick in the end. He spotted a man wedged between about 3 cats. McDonald's kick, though, doesn't find Ward.
They're away then too. Melbourne. Ward was on his own out there on the wing.
Kelly. A man who needs a performance to cement himself in this team. Never in his career has he gone over 30 possessions. Amazing in this day and age for midfielders. Here's Hunt off his step. Coming hard. Chapman spilt it. Goes back after it. He's got Bell. Bell doesn't have the footy. Chapman reaches in. Slides out the back of him. It's in there somewhere. And the umpire has decided he will ball it up. Holland starts the second term on the bench.
With some doubt whether he'll come back. Just a little strain in the hamstring he'd been complaining of. Back in the team today after playing in the opening round. Chapman busy. Johnston finds some space and then kicks wide to Miller.
In the back. Hand on the back.
Start the second quarter well. Travis Johnson took a centre square clearance at the first ball up and then just be able to break from that stoppage too. Clearly a hand in the back there early in that contest.
So Miller short to Wheatley. Wheatley to half forward. The lead coming from Green.
Tell me what I held him with. Held his arm in the context. What did I hold him with? Your arm. Have a look. Have a look.
Let's have a look. Josh Hunt wanted us to have a look. Well, I think that's play on.
Free kick count. 9 Melbourne, 1 Geelong. Chappie had a point.
I think so. So did Hunt.
Well, Green, who's normally a very good kick. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's a goal.
Prior to the game, we talked about where they might be able to get their goals from. Melbourne, they only scored 2 in the first quarter. Green to full forward. He's a bloke who does know how to play as a forward. He's going to perch himself deep in the forward line, come out of the square alongside Jamar. Bates down there as well. Miller will play up high, and Uze's come out to centre half forward too, and Davey will be the speedster in their forward line. That looks a little bit more dangerous than the forward line in the first quarter.
Still simmering down there, and we're told the AFL will investigate the circumstances surrounding Nathan Ablett's replacement by Joel Selwood. So nothing definitive quite yet. Blake up very high. Umpire liked it. And the free kick is going Melbourne's way, so the count continues to mount. McDonald comes out wide. White, nobody stands the mark. Quick thinking by White, he's away inside the 50. Davey could have been held that time, punched away by Johnson, taken by Ling. Clever play, slapped out of there by Corey towards the boundary, and/or Bartel. It's out of bounds. It'll be thrown in right on Melbourne 50.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team sheet. Dennis and Nathan Ablett on the team sheet. The 4 interchange. Tom Hawkins was one of the interchange, but Ablett not playing and Selwood coming in. White's handball. McDonald across the face of goal. But Egan, who's a very, very dour defender, and Scarlett is a very dashing defender. And speak of dash, Wojcinski's got hold of it and takes off. A second, a third, a fourth. Keep counting, Dennis. Goes inside and kicks it magnificently towards Prismal, who can stroll in and go across and find Hawkins, who can now kick a goal. How about that one? What did the Ox say about Wojcinski? He reckons he'd be the best half-back flanker by the end of the year.
He turned on the afterburners, and he was never going to give this ball up to... I think it was Selwood out here on his own, who was actually calling for the ball, and Wojcinski said, no, just let me keep running. He provided the shepherd for him. This kick almost hit the mark too. It was a really smart kick to Prismal, and that was smart play by Prismal, because often a player loses his head in that situation, and that was simple.
So the Cats, a storming run around the outer side by David Wojcinski. They've had 10 running bounces. Wojcinski 3 of his 5 in that run.
Once again, though, it was Scarlett deep in defence that got that first possession that set the chain off.
There's a buzz around the MCG. The crowd love that. White knocked it down. Ling, Ablett, Selwood. Getting a bit easy now. Egan, Bartel. The Cats finding space. Lobs one very high. Hawkins stays out of the contest. Punched away by Carroll. Melbourne down in front. Wheatley to White. Stolen away by Ablett. Blake does well. Chapman. There was a hot potato. Johnston. Now Maloney. They kept their head, the Demons. Bell towards half forward. Uze. Hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Mackey appeared to throw it away. Well played there by Miller. Slapped it to Whelan. Whelan over the top to Bruce. 60 metres out. Spots Green. Green's gone onto the forward line now. Hand passes back towards the square. Hunt tracks it back. Davey had him and lost him. Away he comes. Ling, the beneficiary of that good run from Hunt. Burns in front. Bell tracking him. Bell needs to be careful. Burns has got away. Could have done better. Not a good kick. Mooney camped over the football. Well done by Ward. Now Johnston. It ran away from him and kindly applied a strong tackle that time on Ling. Held to him, says the umpire. Fair enough too. And a bounce at left half back for Melbourne.
High turnover count that last 2 minutes of play.
It's Mackey. Off for the blood rule, Mackey. Getting tangled up with Uze. It's an exciting passage of footy right now, isn't it? The last 3, 4, 5 minutes. Wojcinski's excited this crowd. Let's go down to the Ox.
Bruce, talking about Wojcinski and Scarlett, the Demons placed a lot of emphasis on stopping that run. Placing emphasis and actually doing it are two different things.
Well, Ox, you made a big call before the match on Wojcinski, and he hasn't let you down today. Miller got one in the back. Enright goes to ground. Melbourne hanging on by a thread, you reckon here? Johnston has been good, Tim, in this term. Here's Uze. Needs a good match. It's not a good kick. Chapman cuts it off.
Turnovers are killing Melbourne. They've just got to hit their targets.
So Chapman does do that and finds Enright, who through the centre, pierces the centre. Great kick to Johnson. Hawkins leads now. Lace out. Do you know, Tim, there's not many people here today, but I'm figuring that this is nearly the hottest ticket in town right now, Geelong. I know it's early. I'm thinking of Malcolm Blight days when they filled the stadium on those Sunday afternoons and kicked 25 goals.
Hey, this kid is smart too. He went back, he waited, and then he timed his lead beautifully. Out of the square, almost unstoppable. Ferguson started on him. Now Carroll's on him. He's their best defender, best stopping defender.
There's a buzz about this team right now. Hawkins from 50. He's kicked his third, as he did last week.
He's a very exciting package. There's Tom Hawkins. This is the fat side kick. The space just opened up out there. A lovely kick, but a really well-timed lead there by Hawkins too. He knows how to get to the ball at the right time. Mark's inside 50. Geelong 8. Melbourne are yet to take a mark inside their attacking 50.
Much used phrase about a tug of war in football. We had one to the 15-minute mark of the opening term, but you get the feeling the rope was just snapped. Umpire working hard. Jamar following his own ball through, but Bartel stood in the road defiantly, kicks inside the forward 50. Ferguson, a couple of valiant efforts. Bell emerges with it. Wheatley, now Ward from right half back. High ball, setting bait a task, reaching over the top there. Corey hasn't been called on to do too much, and he punches it out of bounds. Mackie, new jumper, I presume the same number. Yes, it is. He was on the ground before the man he was replacing was off. Bit happening down on those interchange gates this afternoon. Uze goes down, taken down by Jimmy Bartel, who had 32 possessions last time these sides met in a round 21 draw.
He's on 10 right now, Dennis, right with Ling, so right up there with Chappie, Ablett and Hunt. Can they get hold of that rope? Melbourne, they need to do something quickly, you feel. Corey's kick to Ablett. Bell, this is an important ball. Bell's now gone to ground, and Ablett's going to find Davey in front of him. It's a good match. But the Cats with all the answers at the moment. Johnson's kick, Mooney, beautiful hands. On the burst. Hawkins just too far from Selwood and out of play.
They've got two major problems there, Melbourne, at the moment. Hawkins is beating Carroll, and Ferguson's been towed up by Mooney too. They're their key targets when they go forward, Geelong. What's Bell done here? Is his knee or his ankle buckled underneath him?
I'd say knee.
Throw it in again. Thanks, Brad.
He's coming off under the blood rule though too, Dennis, so he might have got a whack in the snout then from Ablett, unintentional.
If we're right, that was a very bad exchange. Ankle, knee, blood rule. Thank you, Dr. Watson.
Just make sure there's no holding, guys. Don't wrap the arms around.
Shouldn't laugh. Still, I know all about noses.
Another throw in. Yeah, another throw in.
What did happen, Dennis?
It's been fixed, Bruce. That's the sad part of the story.
Let's just have another look at this. It's just a one-on-one contest here, and there it is. Ablett just came back with his elbow and just connected with his snout.
So we got the boundary throw in. Ottens tries to flick it behind, went after it, stolen away by Carroll, who finds the boundary. Now, on occasions last year, that would have been called. Not so this time. Speaking of noses. So Johnston 10, Maloney 10. Thought for a moment that was Jeff White, but it was still Bell. Kelly scrambling after it. Hawkins shielding it. He was nesting. Dragged down and will have a bounce.
That's good for Travis Johnson because Cameron Ling is tagging him, and he can put the clamps on you, Cameron Ling. And there's been a lot of discussion about Travis not working hard enough. That's a good result for him.
Ottens lays it down. Chapman takes the man on, fends him, and does he give the free kick away?
This is where they need to break and create.
Could have hurt himself there, Chapman. Just feeling that shoulder. Ward has been busy. Here is Johnston. So his 11th disposal. Good kick. Really good kicks. Given Miller every chance. Can go on almost, but he can do well to hold him up. Well, that's interesting. Back into Wheatley. Put him under pressure. And then he has to squeeze one wide. And Green tightly tucked away.
I think he went to Wheatley because he's the outside 50 specialist, but he didn't realise that he had so much company when he handballed that ball to him. Travis Johnson again got the break from Cameron Link to provide that target out on the wing. And that would be starting to cause Bomber Thompson some concerns up there in the box, that matchup.
So Green, good kick, right there. Good fly by Cameron Bruce. Melbourne trying to get something from this. Bruce's left foot shot just misses. Their second quarters have been a major problem this year, Melbourne. In fact, their second and third terms outscored 3-10 in the 2 second quarters played so far this year, and outscored 8-22 in the second and third combined. So it's a real danger zone for them right now.
Hunt to Ottens, to Corey. On the lead once more. Mooney back to Corey. Mooney picked a man off Jones, who was tracking Corey, and now Hawkins has got it. A bit happening.
Gee, that was smart play there by Cam Mooney on the lead. Ferguson gathered him. He actually stopped his lead. He pushed back on Ferguson, and then he went hard again.
And Mooney went past Nathan Jones and gave him a tap on the head there just moments ago after flattening him in the centre circle. Not exactly the good Samaritan, but a mediocre Samaritan. Here's the kick from Hawkins meantime. More buzzing around the MCG. He's got 4.
I think we're going to be talking about this kid for a long time. Even Kevin Sheedy was moved to write this article in one of the Sunday papers this morning that this kid is something very, very special. They're going to give him a bit of a breather now and bring on Blake.
Now, why would you do that? To keep the lid on, do you think? To keep the lid on the kid?
No, it was probably pre-arranged before that ball got down into the forward line. I've watched him a couple of times. It's been difficult for him to actually run up the field and compete, so they'll be just trying to conserve him a bit.
Well, there's not a hotter kid in footy, is there? He's kicked 4. 3 last week on debut. The big rap coming in to this season. And with Hawkins and the Ablets and all the other players like Mooney starring at the moment, this is an exciting team. Jones run down. Johnston got it. Godfrey. Wojcinski was just terrific. Jamar. Bate. Bartel rode it perfectly. Chapman on the burst here. He's got Ling inside. Still with Chapman. Still Chapman. Clever. Just like a spider, wasn't he? Drawing them to him. Weaved a web.
He worked his way through that really cleverly then.
What about Cam?
This is a really good shepherd here. There's Travis Johnson. And that's Cam Mooney just collecting his second Melbourne player in the last 2 minutes.
Oh, I shall not want.
Has he tapped him on the head?
Not yet.
Good kick, Ling. Another one.
Cameron Ling, we've already talked about his matchup with Travis Johnson. That's how he has to hurt Travis Johnson. There's Cam Mooney's been providing not only a focal point, but a lot of physical contact too in that forward line. Just cleans up Travis Johnson. And what it does, apart from the physical damage it does at the time, it actually makes you think a little bit more about the next time you go and try and chase someone and you know you're in the vicinity of Cam Mooney.
Problems for that group. Only Norm Smith and Checker Hughes have coached more games for Melbourne. 9-8-3-2. Ricky Olorenshaw.
On Daniel Bell, they're still trying to stem the bleeding coming from his nose. He's looking very groggy. He's an important part of Melbourne's backline because he's a designated player to pick up Chapman or Ablett when they go forward.
Easy when you know what you're looking for. That elbow coming back. Corey. Wojcinski. Do it again. Had a couple of bounces, but backs off this time. Corey. Enright. Corey Enright. Gets a hand pass away. Enright Corey. Goes down towards half forward. I know it's confusing at home. You haven't got a record. Carroll's in there. Bruce dives after the football. Varco left it behind. Bruce taken down. Prismal running out of space. Kept it alive. Ling Wishes he hadn't. McDonald, Davey tracks the boundary line, sets it high. Egan cleverly.
There's Davies' man now with the ball.
Johnson across the ground. This will be interesting. Blake. Well, the confidence sky high for the Cats. Bartel. Blake needed to be sky high. Did very good. Comes away. Kicks towards half forward. Bruce gets on the end of it.
Phil, Tim, that for Melbourne to get back, they need Davey to run the ground and kick a goal. They need something out of the ordinary, don't they?
Yeah, they've just got to get a spark from somewhere. This bloke provided last week. The bloke with the ball in the hands now, Nathan Jones.
Good hands there from Johnson to Bate, who's on his right side, which is the left, goes to full forward. And Green, who's given them a little bit, hasn't he, up forward? Will have a third shot for goal in this term.
Well, he's looked the most capable forward that they've had so far in the game. Let's just have a look at these marks inside 50. Melbourne just 2, Geelong 10. That's a significant difference as we approach half time.
It's going to be a big stat for Geelong all year. One that everybody's going to look at, isn't it? Marks inside 50 with how they're lining up. Green for a second goal. Good kick. He's got it. So he's got 2. Still don't think they've found that rope yet, do you?
No, there's no momentum swing yet at this stage towards Melbourne. They've struggled in the first 2 games of the season. They've really struggled to kick goals. They're only averaging just over 11 and a half goals in their first 2 games. And they're up against the highest scoring side in the competition at the moment, and that's Geelong. They've been averaging 18, so that was always going to be a problem for them in the lead up to this game.
Margin 36 points. Former captain looking on there. Stephen King would be liking what he's seeing at the moment. And you've got to say too that Mark Blake is doing a pretty good job in there. He won that one down, but unfortunately for him and the Cats, McDonald got it, kicks it out towards half forward. Coming up strongly was Mackey. Now Corey. Jones closing. Corey stood up in the tackle. Back to Mackey. Spirals one. In fact, he got the right spin on it. Inside the forward 50. That was Ferguson over the top. The hand pass from Bruce, not very good. Varco. Ward did well. Down goes White. Ottens. Blake once more. Now Varco is through. Another rookie. Pushed as he kicked. Carroll goes back. I don't think he touched it.
So he kicked a couple last week, Vargo. He got everyone excited like Hawkins on the same night.
Just something to look at Blake's stats. He's had 9 touches in the first half. Melbourne have obviously decided that they don't mind if he is the person that is in possession of the ball. And we just see Carroll there, who's now switched on to Cam Mooney since Tom Hawkins was taken from the ground.
Travis Varco, a couple of goals on debut last week. Loves to celebrate. I think Mackey's the blood rule again for Mackey, so Mackey coming off. Had one of those days, and Bell, we know. I think Holland's in a bit of strife with a hammy. We had the big story with Nathan Ablett prior to the match, being replaced by Joel Selwood at the absolute 11th hour. And for Mark Thompson, well, a week ago, before the Carlton game, he would have been feeling a little bit of heat, but life's rosy right now. It's not quite as simple as all that. The life of a coach. Corey, bad bounce. Jones gone. Kelly's got him.
They've left Blake alone again in the centre of the ground. Ruckman, Jeff White's just not paying him any attention whatsoever. He's gone to half back.
That man again, Blake.
They're quite happy to have the ball in his hands.
Enright cleverly then just changed direction and opened a space up for Johnson, who's delivered pretty well today. Mooney to charge down Bruce. That's a bit scary, Mooney charging anyone down. Terrific handball coming out to Milburn from Prismal. Ottens, another one.
And watching the replay there, you could be forgiven for thinking that Ablett was trying to smother.
what's happened with the rule pushing the back? Just watch this. Johnson kicks the ball inside. Good contest here by the Geelong players. Cam Mooney again applying pressure. Clever handball out there by pressure. Just watch this. Is there hands in the back? That's a definite push in the back there by Ottens. I mean, that's what the decision, that was the rule change. That's exactly what it was all about.
Approaching half-time at the MCG. 5.5 minutes out from the major break. A sense of deja vu. Think back to yesterday on this ground. The Bombers and the Blues. Could it happen again? White taps it down. Different cast, of course. McDonald inside the forward 50. Bartel goes back, takes the mark. Off to Hunt. Bounces one out to Johnson. He's been a good addition this afternoon. Johnson steps around Johnson. Goes over the top to Ling. Back to Johnson. Bartel inside the centre square. Ling wants it. They're toying with Melbourne at the moment. Johnson, that's Paul, being asked to do a lot of running. Ottens on his chest. What a beautiful pass. Wow. Only one man could get that ball after it left the boot of Cameron Ling. And it was Brad Ottens.
Bartel's now playing as a free player across half-back, and Bruce is playing the free role across Melbourne's half-back line.
Ottens at his second goal in the space of a couple of minutes. Steps to the 50. This one not beyond him. Well, he slides it directly to the opposite pocket where White marks it over the line. So it's a Melbourne ball.
It's got Ward short. What can Melbourne salvage from the wreck late in this first half? Carlton kicked 3 late goals yesterday. Dennis was alluding to that match against Essendon. They kicked 3 late goals before half-time, which gave them some heart.
Yeah, they did. They got that momentum just before half-time.
No, I didn't call it, man. You can't go until I call it. Stay there.
So maybe this will give them a break. Brown gets it from Bruce.
Stay out, stay out.
There's a lot of players in front of him though, and a lot of them are Geelong players. Has to go short and wide.
Jono, back to me, Jono.
So Green busy on the forward line.
There.
White at about 60 metres outside his range.
There's two kicks from goal. Numbers back for Geelong.
Mine.
So Green has been getting shots for goal in the other pocket. Now tight in the left forward pocket. The more difficult one for a lefty. It's got to be accurate. It is. It's a good kick. Brown, they've got closer to goal and improved the angle.
It was a good slow build-up then by Melbourne. They've taken a lot of time off the clock, but they've maintained possession of the ball, and now they've got themselves inside the 50 with a reasonable kicking angle.
Not a big goal kicker, Brown. They need this big time. Improves his angle. Not going to be a goal. So the Cats right away, aren't they? That's 74 to 27.
Egan in the back pocket. Well, that's interesting. He could have run to there. Bartel barely the 15. Back to Hunt. Nobody goes to him. He could actually sit on the footy. Eventually to Bartel.
This is junk time, isn't it now?
Goes towards the outer, so that's a good mark. Egan.
They're both just shut down before half-time. The message has gone out. The runners told the players they're inside 3 minutes.
Egan in the defensive 50. Ablett runs from behind him. Awkward situation. Ablett, though, made it look okay. Milburn cleverly. Now Enright. Good tackle from behind. Run down by Miller, who wins it back for Melbourne. So just over 2 minutes to go till half-time. Melbourne a chance of a late goal. Wheatley across the ground to Bruce. Oblivious to a man coming up. That was Hawkins, and he ran him down.
Back on the ground, Hawkins. 4 goals in this first half. Not a good kick.
It's the second helicopter he's kicked today.
Both times when he's been attempting to pass the ball on. So Geelong 6 straight goals in this term. They kicked 5-8 in the opening quarter, Geelong, and 6 without a miss in this one. Ward's kicked good to Miller, who kicked 3 against the Hawks on Monday. Bruce running hard. Got to get a goal before half-time, Melbourne. Got to have something to hang their hat on. Green front spot, Johnson at the back. Through for a behind.
That's a good defensive punch there from the Cats. They'll be patient again now. They're just trying to control the ball going to half-time with this same lead. Happy just to shut the game down.
Bit of danger there, but Bartel found it in his hands in the end.
That was the doozer. There's Bartel. Nobody on the mark. So Bartel again can take his own sweet time. Goes to the outer side. Selwood camped in front. Selwood in the side in rather remarkable circumstances. Ling, Bartel, and sliding in his end right. Clock down to 35 seconds. End right. Gee, they're working. Selwood with a man crashing into him over the top. They need to be a bit careful for no other reason than physical pain.
Ball went straight to ground.
They haven't been very good in the last couple of minutes of maintaining possession, have they, Joe?
No.
It doesn't suit them. This style of play just doesn't suit them. They're a high-scoring, high-rebounding side.
Why would you bother? Is it sort of muscle memory or something? Mind memory to do this in a similar situation in a tighter game. Here's Davey. They've got them by the throat. Selwood punches it down. Johnson feeds it back. Almost siren time. Ball comes across the ground from Enright. This is Milburn in the back pocket. Short one. One roll of the dice. Not time. Selwood goes short. Disappointing end of the first half. But Geelong well satisfied with the overall. Half time, it's the Cats 11-8, the Demons 4-4.
Just an effort.
Second half of the G. It starts here. Jeff White wins it down with the left hand. Bartel cleverly back to Ling, who kicks it virtually straight up in the air. Heard the umpire call it. Chapman only as far as Bruce. A little chip. 15 metres. Well, not 15 according to the umpire. Wheatley goes to Maloney, who started the game very well. Got a fickle bounce. Goes after it. Couldn't find it. Bate came to his assistance. Wheatley, Johnston. Now White. Wheatley, who can kick it a long way. Short one down towards the 50. Barely 15. Paid a mark. Godfrey plays on.
Good kick.
Centering kick. A beauty. And the mark is taken by Miller directly in front. 35 metres out.
Well, that's all you can ask for. They got their hands on the footing. Jeff White instinctively just gave it off. He got plenty of run about. And the D's went to the fat side of the ground, where Miller, for the first time in a half a footy, has had space to work into.
Brad Miller hasn't seen a lot of the football this afternoon. His 7th possession. And he tugs it left.
Not the result they wanted. Tim Watson, what are the matchups like, Tim?
Well, Melbourne have changed their forward line a little bit. Ben Holland's gone forward. He's playing out of the goal square alongside Green, and Ward's also gone forward.
So a bad miss, wasn't it? They needed an early goal. Good tackle there. Chapman.
Sure.
Not paid. Maloney brought down again by Chapman. Varco ridden into the ground. Gee, it's been swallowed, that whistle. Somebody find it. Johnson still.
I think it's in the red and blue bag if you're looking for it.
Cameron Mooney's come to play today. Just some of his efforts. And you'll see it here that Chapman lays a pretty decent tackle and just puts the ball out, makes a bit of space. That is incorrect disposal.
Not once, but a couple of times. White. So Nathan Ablett in the crowd now. Came out, stripped.
Did speak to Neil Baum about it, Bruce. He said that he was every intention of playing, and it was only in the last couple of minutes out on the ground that his back got sore.
Joel Selwood's come in, and as Dennis said, the AFL investigating it. McDonald's kick missed the mark. Milburn and Wheatley together. Milburn Johnson cut it off. Well done. Played the one game with West Coast. Ablett to Chapman. Gee, Strong just fended it off, and then Ablett found a way. Bartel caught by Davey. So Melbourne getting to the contest. Well done. Good turnover for the D's. Can Davey go all the way? No, decides not. Squeezes to Miller. Good. Running hard. Ward to provide for Miller.
Got to be quick.
Miller goes long. Wants a mark. Wants White or Holland to take it. And that's a poor result in the end.
Too slow. Gave the Geelong defenders too much time to get back. Got to move it in a lot quicker.
And one of Dennis's favourites, it was Jimmy Bartel taking the mark.
Scarlett to the outer side. This is Chapman. He's gone a fair way, Chapman. Still going. Kicks beyond the wing. Here comes Mooney. Howlett set for him. Awkwardly runs away from him and goes across the boundary line. So Nathan Ablett off the ground. That's his lawyer on the left. They're negotiating whether he gets a match fee. Boundary throw in.
That's good research, Dennis. Keep it up.
Deep. Over the top, White. Tracking it towards the line, McDonald. Feeds it back. Bruce goes towards half forward. Loose ball at the back. Johnson the first to arrive. Used Prismal as a decoy. So, well, Prismal is carving a duck. It's kicked to the outer side, and Chapman. Now Corey. Oh, pinpointing the ball to Mackey. Melbourne giving it their best shot, but at the moment they're being met squarely by the Cats. Mackey, leisurely kick. Milburn's got it. I'd say too far out to score. 55 metres from goal.
2 on 7 at the moment. 2 on 7 inside.
Gee. Goes across the ground. This is Chapman. Can run it up to the 50. Kicks from about 55. Telling kick.
Just watching the ball, they didn't want to go inside. They were terribly outnumbered. It was 2 on 7, and the switch of play. Just wanted to have a look at Travis Johnson's decision here. He decided to follow his man rather than run at the kicker. And I know it's always good to make sure that your man doesn't get his possession, but team comes first. Probably should have put pressure on that. He was still kicking from 60 metres. Run at the player and make sure that he is limited.
So the Cats get the first goal after half-time.
Eyes on the footy.
In fact, Melbourne have had 5 of the last 10 scoring shots, believe it or not. They've kicked 1-4, and Geelong have kicked 5 straight. So Johnston, who lifted in the second quarter, wide Milburn, Bate to Wheatley. Wheatley to the pocket, to Green, just too far for him. Scarlett gets rid of Green. Boundary throw in.
A little bit of a difference going inside too. Geelong in the first half hit their targets. We saw Hawkins come out a couple of times and did not have to change stride. With Melbourne going wide, just landing short, being a little bit wide.
Their field kicking's been good, Geelong. White. Davey searching for an Enright, able to hold up in the tackle and then get the ball outside 50. Ling's been very, very good. His battle with Johnson. Bartel's had huge numbers. And now Burns with some space.
Over the top. Joel Corey. Wonderful balance. Down to one knee. 60 metres out. Sets it up. Hawkins edged out of the contest. Carroll punched away. Enright was taken in a strong tackle. It was good by McDonald. Now White across to Bate. Melbourne bring it out. Miller couldn't control it. Mackey did well. Forced him off the line of the football. Chapman. Bartel getting everything at the moment to Ablett. Back to Bartel. Loves playing against Melbourne. Kicks down towards full forward. Coming across on the angle is Bruce. Burns tracks in. Bruce, did he keep it in? Oh, terrific. A wonderful victory for the Cats right there. Burns forcing him across the line.
And Neil Danaher has put Cameron Bruce loose in defence just to make sure that when it does come in that they do have extra numbers.
Ricky Olorenshaw.
Just a quick one, boys. The wind has definitely picked up at half-time. It is swirling. It's definitely favouring Geelong's end.
Thanks, Rick. Brown to Bruce.
Yards!
To Wheatley. So plenty of effort for Melbourne. Can they be a bit cleaner? Well done, Scarlett, but he picked Green off. It was a hard ball for Green. Ablett. Wojcinski. Holland's got him. and then plays it on. Green's on his wrong side for the moment. Now he can straighten up. He's a pretty good kick for goal. He's pushed that under the pressure, and Davey can't believe that he didn't pass it to him.
Well, he either had to kick it or he had to give it off.
So a couple of goals to Green in that second term. Cats with the rebound.
Oh, look at this.
And it's going to hurt, I think. Ablett to Enright. End-to-end stuff from Geelong. Enright at centre wing. Goes to full forward. Hawkins led underneath it. Bruce getting plenty of the footy. To McDonald. Back to Bruce. Now straightens. Little kicking ball to Brown.
Conscious decision at half-time to get the ball on by the Demons. They've opened up the corridor. They haven't gone down as wide. And you'll see that they'll start to peel off into the middle of the ground to hopefully get some run.
Bell's kick put Brown under some pressure. Got it back, Bell.
Bell to Uze. Haven't seen a lot of him. Brown, mind you, he's no orphan. White comes out wide. This is McDonald. Goes down towards half forward Miller. He's presenting more in this term.
Just a little bit too far out though, Dennis, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, first things first, Dave.
Want to go to Jeff
call. Sets it up for White. Egan there over the top. A big leap. Terrific mark by Johnson. I mentioned before he's been a valuable addition. That was all spring.
And over two pretty big blokes too, in Egan and Holland. It's a nice leap.
Didn't touch them till he was up there. Here's Enright. Jams it on the boot. Burns marks in front of Whelan. Cruising past, a dangerous man to be left in that situation. Ablett to half forward. Corey, head down, took his eye off the footy. Don't blame him. Uze got it from Wheatley to Ward to Johnson. Uze missed it. Ward emerges with it. Under pressure. Gets boot to ball. Almost a half chance there for Bartel. Suddenly he's fourth in the race, but in position to apply a tackle on Jones. Oh, Bartel's not happy.
No, let him up. Nothing stupid. Hey, let him up. Let him up. Let him up. Fucking goal.
We were listening, and then
we need the mute button.
Who says that Michael Braun's not a role model?
Something obviously happened there big time, didn't it? He was off his head for a moment.
I think he gave him to Scal Murphy, or tried to.
Gee. Prismal, who had a good first quarter when things were a bit tighter. That's a wonderful kick to Enright, to Burns, who will stroll in and kick another one. I think the handbrake's about to come off, Ox. I reckon Melbourne have been able to hold them for 5 or 10. The handbrake's about off.
Well, have a look at this. This is a beautiful angle just to see the player creeping over the back. Players in Melbourne's defence have got to notice that. They've got to call the players to come back and watch those sneaky ones coming out the back, which gives them so much space. Just not thinking by the Demons. They've got to be better. They've got to talk. They've actually got to communicate with one another to know where each player is on the ground.
Neil Danaher, pensive, as you'd expect. Hawkins has got 4. 8 players have got the other 9 for Geelong. 24 goals last week, and they're rolling again right here. 13 on the board to the moment. Jamar taken down. Jones, Johnston, hurriedly onto the boot. Chance for Maloney. Breaking away. That's ambitious. That's holding the ball. What was he thinking? Kelly got him. Wojcinski in the opposite direction. Ablett to run onto it. Knows where Ling is. Johnston played it pretty well. Then lost Ablett. Arriving very quickly was Davey. Wonderful run down. Affected the kick. And it bounces out of bounds in the pocket.
That's what work rate is. Good tackle here too. Some really good tackles from behind. And that's just like I've talked by both sides. Not letting them know that the players were behind them and that they were hot.
Ablett did well improvising there to get it on the boot. Here's Ottens under pressure. Bounces it out of bounds in the pocket.
Davey and Wojcinski on the other side running for the footy, stride for stride.
They're quick. They're both very, very quick. David Wojcinski, he's real interesting. If he hadn't been injured, who knows how he may have turned out. But he certainly has found that speed back, and Geelong are rating him very highly.
Been a lot of stories here today, but that was probably the single highlight of the match so far. And the Cats have provided more than a couple. Johnston, high on Bell. Brown running hard.
Better run.
Uze, it is better to Godfrey. Now he stopped and propped, and they lost their run and momentum. And now they've got to be clean. Green got it from Uze. and then to Bell. Miller, as Dennis said, presenting and takes yet another mark. Now he's probably within range now. Has to kick it.
He's got to go back and get his run up right. He's set up, believe he can kick it and just block everything else out.
He's not a big goal scorer. He averages about 1 every 3rd match over his career, but he got 3 last Monday against Hawthorn.
It's when he lean backs, Bruce. That's when he gets himself in his drive. Got to follow through with his action.
Let's see if he does that. He's timed it well, but he's pushed it again. So the Demons keep on missing as we go down to Ricky Olorenshaw.
Just adds more trouble to Melbourne's midfield. James McDonald has just come off the ground, had a lot of work done in his right groin. He's now doing some run-throughs around the boundary, and Gary Adler's also brought himself off the ground with a problem.
Ling, Johnson runs it up towards the wing, kicks towards half forward. Mooney, who's drifted out of the game in this term, had it knocked away. Hunt got the crumb though to Enright. Over the top, Selwood. Inside the 50, Selwood. Chance to settle. Hawkins will come at this one, won't get there. Punched away by Brown, dangerously back towards the goal. It hits the post.
The most exciting thing about the Cats at the moment is their run-off halfback. They've been able to not turn it over once. When they've come out, they've hit their targets, and all of a sudden they're at half forward, putting so much pressure on the Demon defenders.
Wheatley to Brown, kicks beyond the wing. Miller once more, hands in the back, I would have thought. No free kick.
That rule's been ignored now, Dennis.
Godfrey, here's Miller. Had the hand up early, grabbed by the glove. He was tackled by the glove. And the ball is across the line and will be thrown in. It's like playing on Michael Jackson.
Don't think Melbourne need Michael Jackson right now, do you?
I'd like to play on him.
Well, I think we would. We need something. we need a thriller.
I know it.
There's a very good line there, but I'm not going. It's a bit like that balloon line earlier today that you used.
Don't recall the incident. I'm at the tribunal.
J-Mar belts it forward. Bruce. Uze can't break the tackle. Miller having a good quarter. Jones can't get through. Slings it out to Johnston. Still outside 50. Searching for a way. Godfrey short. Good. Holland. Playing forward, Holland, where he'd started his career, really, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He played at the Tigers. Played a lot up forward. Being used as a patch-up player for the Demons since he came across.
Long run up. Going to kick from about 49. Is it coming back? They just can't find a goal, the D's. They've had a lot of set shots for goal today, and they can't scrape one home. It's an ugly scoreboard from Melbourne's point of view.
Well, 4 goals in a half a footy, or more than a half a footy, is not acceptable.
Selwood just short of the man he intended to find there. Mooney coming through as Bruce at close quarters to Uze. The pressure's still on. Johnson, not 15. Godfrey feeds it back to Ward, to Brown. Godfrey is on for the short one, right on the wing at the MCG. 87 plays 31.
Doesn't like to kick it, Simon. He's one of those players that doesn't believe in his foot skills.
There's Bell. He kicks it. Telling kick too. Green coming up behind the pack. Collided with them. Missed the football. Came off hand. Scarlett goes back. Picks it up. Egan. Short one. Close to the boundary. Selwood. The last minute, and we mean last minute inclusion. Short to Burns.
He's actually up in the stand grabbing a pie, I believe, when he got the phone call.
Well, Nathan Ablett looked like he might have been eating it for him a moment ago when we had a look.
They did the change of the baton.
Nothing better than the cold pie at the G, is there? Milburn inboard. They were keen to get Johnson back in the Cats, and he's done the job on Davey again today, hasn't he?
He has. He's got a good record against Aaron Davey, and his woes continue. Has had no real impact on the game. He has worked hard. He's had a couple of rundowns, but he hasn't broke the game open. Hasn't been able to kick a goal and excite the side.
So Chapman back to Johnson. So Johnson from about 70 metres. The side's just loaded up. Mooney got pushed by Carroll. Is it a free kick?
Well,
Sure.
that umpire was 40 metres away. There was one right in front. He saw exactly what happened, and he was overruled.
So Wheatley out wide. Bell in the contest. Chapman, rather, yes, it was Chapman cleverly to Ablett, but it was down under the pump. Ablett, look away handball. It was a tough one for Corey. Corey stood up pretty well. Kelly goes to ground. Melbourne have got numbers.
Ward into the path of Brown. Oh, well played there by Selwood. Worked him off the line of the ball.
Yeah, good player.
Got it across to Chapman.
Oh.
Thrives on a pint as Selwood comes down towards the big guy. Ottens, a little too much finesse. Comes back to Johnson. Davey playing against three of them. Numbers tell out, although Green got hands to the Johnson kick. It ricochets inside the forward 50. Wheatley got it from Carroll to Whelan to Bruce. Goes out wide to Brown. Now he can take off if he wants to. Nothing much up the ground for him. Will kick for space. Can Bate get to the contest? Not quite. Ball stays in. He leads back. Egan's got him, took him down. Prismal tracks it towards the line, and it's out.
Melbourne look like they're actually winning the clearances, that they are getting their hands on the ball. 27 to 11. Well, they are getting it, but when they are getting it, they're turning it over and it's coming straight back. And I think that Geelong being able to shut down on an individual basis has caused a lot of turnovers.
So Mackie with blood for the third time today has to leave and get patched up.
They've got to be out of jumpers for him now. He's at 3. There can't be any more in there.
Well, perhaps if he puts a Melbourne one on, it might be an opportunity to even it up a bit.
He's only had 4 possessions though, Bruce. They probably want somebody else.
Were you looking at his number on his back then or at the stat sheet?
Both.
Synergy. White, Ottens, Milburn. Said earlier, birthday boy today, 30 years of age. Kelly to Chapman. To Enright.
He's been good.
He gets a lot of it in, right, doesn't he?
They've got to lose play back here, the Demons. So the Cats very cautious in going in. They don't want to turn it over. They don't want to go into a one-on-one or into a one-on-two because Hawkins young.
At the back, Blake almost. Hawkins and Carroll. Hawkins comes out with it. Handball at the feet of Prismal. Likes it. He's got 2. Now he's got 3. And I reckon on days like today, I mean, Hawkins is the obvious, but when a Prismal stands out and has a day like today, that's a real bonus.
It is, no doubt, because he would have came into the game. Melbourne wouldn't have had a specific role for him, so you can kind of get under the guard. What I was talking about before was when the ball came in, it came into an experienced player like Ottens. They don't want to bash Hawkins around. They don't want to get him 3-on-1, so they're just protecting him a little bit and coming in at a certain point.
Brent Prismal started the day with 4 career goals. He's got 3 this afternoon. He's got nice skills. White up very high, directs it down to McDonald. White doing better inside the centre square in this term as well. But the deficit a very large one. Johnson in trouble, crashing through Wojcinski. Corey goes down towards half forward. Bell worked off the line of the ball cleverly by Ablett. Brown with courage missed the footy though. Ablett runs away off the ball. It's going against Hunt.
Send off too high. Back here, your kick.
We get a close-up of Hunt. Until you're down on boundary line, you don't realise how big he is. You'll see this here. He's got a big frame, and that is...
Yes.
That is just a waste of a breath of wind into the whistle.
That's a terrible decision. Wing's got the ball just behind the wing. Goes across to Prismal.
Here come the runners off the half-back line here for the Cats.
It's Jimmy. Jimmy Bartell coming up for his 26th possession. Goes inside the forward 50, and the mark is taken by Ottens. His career high, 35 against Richmond, round 1904. There's Corey. That's Jimmy we're talking about. Formerly known as James Bartell.
Been okay, Johnson. He's taken his opportunities.
There's Bate to Ward. Across half back. Green gets the footy. Well, almost dropped it, but gives it to Jones. Nobody inside the forward 50, so everybody is running back. Johnston's got the run of it. Will it sit for him? Yes, it does. Got a fumble, goes to the pocket, hooks it back and kicks a goal. He was like a wide receiver.
And great running there by Jones. Great work by Travis Johnson too, to actually work Ling back the other way. That's sort of all you can ask for when you're being tagged as heavily as he is by Ling. But Nathan Jones, he showed a lot today. He's got poise. He's willing to take a risk. And Travis Johnson, he almost messed it up, but classy enough in the end to finish it off.
It's been 34 minutes since Melbourne's last goal. Green's second one in the second term.
Now time for Jeff White to really start putting his knee into Blake's chest and winning a couple of taps.
Prismal. You heard the call. Johnson run down from the back and then high.
Bring it back. Where you are. Play on.
So Selwood and Mackie.
Is that a fresh jumper, Dennis?
I think it is.
To Blake. Hasn't kicked a goal in AFL footy. Close. He's had a good match though, Blake. He really has played well today.
I think, Dave, they've had a chance to wash the first one.
Perfect. That is a wonderful shot just to see how many players are down there and the space that is created when players push into one particular part of the ground.
Uze up from the back pocket. McDonald. Ward runs the boundary, goes down towards half forward. Wojcinski, wonderful closing speed, just chipped past Godfrey and got a fist on it to put it out of bounds.
What about this contest, Dennis? Ling, 19 possessions and 1 goal. Johnson, 19 possessions and 1 goal.
Geelong, 42, or should that be 41? We're not sure. There's an investigation pending. In front, Blake knocks it down. Johnston directs it across to Jones. Jones, not a bad kick towards half forward. Brilliant defence, Bartel. Got a fist in there, jumps to his feet, applies a tackle. Could have been high, goes again. That's why you've got to love him. Jimmy Bartel.
What will the investigation do, Dennis, as we watch Maloney try and break through some ex-teammates of his? Could the 4 points be given Demons way, because that might be the only chance they've got?
Would that be an injustice?
Bartel gets it from Ling and then a big talk. He was speaking like a Demon supporter then.
Just a segment hopeful. We're
clinging to hope.
Got to try and get something.
I reckon that's the definition of a cup half full rather than half empty, don't you?
I think so.
There, Whelan back to Uze. Melbourne certainly has tried very hard in this quarter. There's a slow high kick and crunch. Wojcinski onto Godfrey, but he's got a broad back, Godfrey, and he's okay.
Wojcinski lands hard.
Forgot to put the wheels down here.
Oh.
And that's a very good advertisement on how you can hurt your shoulder at times.
White, Maloney, he's grabbed by the leg, back to Whelan, just had a couple of fumbles to Green. Uze. Clever handball, released Whelan, gave him a bit of time and space. Good kick to Bate.
Kicks the ball a long way, Bate, but he should give this off.
Has kicked it a long way. Right there, right there, right there. Oh. It was going through, I reckon. But it's a behind. Do you know, all his 8 goals last year were from outside 40 metres, Bate. He does kick it a long way.
Well, Holland then had to know exactly where his body was in relation to the line and just shepherd it through.
Burns to the run of Ablett. Awkward hand pass to Tate. Ablett still goes though, as is the custom with that young man. Here's Bell in trouble. Ward. Bell still fighting on with Chapman, who's trying to hood him like a falcon. Meantime, up the ground, Green's got it. Inside the forward 50 and stretching. The mark is taken by Holland. Godfrey wants it in the middle. Holland decides, okay, goes to him. He did think about it though.
He can't make the distance from there.
Maloney, Varco got to him, affected the kick. Bate goes back, got a hand to it, and knocks it across the line for a behind.
They're having a go here though, Bruce. They're actually stepping up the tempo. They're getting the ball. They may be 50-odd points down, but they are starting to work into the game.
The last 10 scoring shots for both teams. Geelong have kicked 8-2. Melbourne have kicked 2-8. Look at the Bate goal. Had Holland just been able to find a way to let it through. That may have given them a bit of a lift because it was a big long kick from outside, but that's 5 minutes ago and the Cats have now got it. And they have had it for the clean possession stakes in this match for most of the day. Ablett got it from Prismal to Chapman.
This would have been really good, just being able to hit that target over the top.
And they win the third term as they won the first and the second. And at three-quarter time, Geelong in a winning position, all right. They lead by 94-39.
And the Cats playing some of the best football we've seen off them for nearly probably 12 months. The Demons, well, they got their work cut out. All they can do now is play for pride in the last quarter.
So 1-5 for Melbourne in that term, 3-2 for Geelong. They stretch their advantage. It's 14-10 to 5-9.
Cats have led at every change, 25-46 and now 55 as we start the final term of the MCG Sunday football. 14-10, 5-9. Wide up very early, but very high as well. Towards half forward Miller. Joel Corey taken down. Egan trying to hack his way out. Enright has been very good. Kicks it down towards half forward. It bounces onto Chapman. Little side foot across to Prismal. He's kicked 3 goals this afternoon. Once more Chapman loved his game.
Oh, he's good.
Shrugs off a tackle. Back to Prismal inside the forward 50. Hawkins out position down there. Interferes in any case. Carroll gets the free kick. Makes his debut against Geelong from Claremont and WA. Nathan Carroll.
Saw Dennis when Hawkins came off after he kicked his 4th goal. Took a rest. Not a lot of petrol in the tank at the moment. They'll be building up his endurance work over the season.
So White from half back. Whelan running for him. So Melbourne have got to get something out of this last quarter. They must take something.
Maloney there, who Ricky Olorenshaw said had a sore groin. Bate, Ferguson and also Jamar on the bench for the Demons.
Kelly, Ling and Johnson. So many good players for the Cats today. Gee, a fortnight ago we were seeing them struggle against the Bulldogs. Fortnight's a long time in footy, isn't it?
I'll say.
A changing fortunes for those two clubs.
Oh, having the Bulldogs dropped off and the Cats just marching along beautifully.
I reckon you're always 2 weeks away from being a good team. Hawkins in the pocket. Carroll. Back to Bruce. Back to Brown. And now Johnson. Talked about him taking his chances today. Obviously, he's in his 5th AFL season, only his 12th game. And it's been a slow ride to here. Wojcinski getting back. And Scarlett, who kept Favola goalless last week. That's one for the records. Wojcinski with just pace, just broke away. And then it was Dennis's man, Jimmy, who got it to Scarlett. Prismal's been terrific.
Clean, beautiful.
Milburn, little chip. Blake.
He's been good too.
In the clear, he has. Improving just about every week. Goes down towards half forward. Corey lets it bounce. Spins out of a would-be tackle. White was coming towards him. Kelly gets a deflection. Hooks it towards full forward. Whoa. Bounces almost at right angles. He needed just a tad more. Wry smile from the goal umpire.
He has improved, Dennis. Blake is becoming a very important player to this side with King out and Otten's going forward. Have a look at this for an off break. Oh.
Johnston to himself, then to Uzo. So Melbourne, a disastrous start to the season in terms of win-loss and injuries as well. Carroll hugs the boundary line, sliding in. Whelan takes the mark. Real enterprise coming from the Cats today, particularly early. Well, Melbourne steadied midway through the opening term. Had a couple of bad mistakes and have never recovered. This is Bell.
Thought he's been pretty good today. Copped a heavy knock, had to come off, and he's been very serviceable.
Turn 22 on Friday. Finds Godfrey on the bounce.
To McDonald. Looking for Miller, who had a fair bit of it in that third quarter and late in the second. Godfrey in with courage. Miller's handball missed the target. Kelly spins out. Enright, good hands to Johnson. Missed that one match with the shoulder that he copped against the Bulldogs. Beautiful kick to his lookalike and Chapman. Strolls away with a couple. Not quite Wojcinski on that wing, but what a player he is. Into Prismal, who's had his I reckon, first really big match today. Bartell's kick not so good, and Bruce able to take an easy one. He's had a fair bit of it, Cameron Bruce.
This is where the Cats have been able to really shut down the Demons. The half back line, just making them kick under pressure. So we see that one end over end.
Uze to Johnston. Some drop mark by Godfrey. Flicks it over the top. White. It's all a bit slow motion.
Oh, is it ever?
White to the pocket. Green acrobatically almost. Still Green. Ball still in play. Where's Davey to help him? He's out of play. And now Ling to Johnson. And the Cats away again. Hunt, I should say.
Short one. Melbourne dropped it. Time to get up. Handball into the centre square. And a looper hand pass to one of two runners. This is Scarlett. Stops and bounces. Stops again. Enright sold into trouble. Bartell lurking out on that half-back flank. Another possession carries him beyond 30.
Gee, there's not much movement between the players.
Here's Scarlett. 95 plays 39. Ling in midfield. Wojcinski. This will get the crowd going. One bounce going down towards half forward. Chapman got a hot chance at second slip. Johnston slid in there. Johnson's hand pass not good. Bruce in trouble. Tackled by Barco. Somehow Ablett got out of there. Corey on the 50. Wheels around. Has to go short. Nobody was long. But short will do the trick in that situation. Cam Mooney. So good, particularly in the first half.
Well, and in the third quarter, Johnson picked him up, kept him really quiet. He went over there to try and make the play. The ball was turned over. Johnson was found out as Mooney just dropped off and spotted him up beautifully.
First touch since half-time for Mooney.
Directly in front.
Oh.
Gets right underneath it. Now, I'm told the AFL is happy with Geelong's late change. There won't be an investigation. I've said a couple of times there will be. So now actually there's an investigation into why it was suggested there would be an investigation.
So,
good luck, Dennis.
Who did that to me?
The 4 points for the Demons is dashed.
We'll give you a character reference. Jimmy Bartell at centre wing. Wouldn't have done it for you last year. Egan short to Ling.
I've improved as a citizen since then.
To the birthday boy, Milburn.
It's only early on in the season, Bruce, but games like this are so important coming into the season for percentage. The Cats now, they've kept Melbourne to only 5 goals. Plays a bit, it's almost like an extra win come round 21, 22.
So Milburn with a goal in the opening term. And a push. You know, Melbourne last year were 11-1 at the MCG. 11 out of 12. They're going to be 0-3 after today. And can you believe it? Next week, Melbourne will play Geelong. There's Hawkins, who kicked 4 goals in the first half. Terrible kick in. They might be all right. Melbourne and Fremantle, who played in the semi-final last year, are going to play 0-3 in round 4 next weekend.
Who's under more pressure?
Burns trying to get through. He's about 35 metres out. Can they get the difficult goal? There's something about that area. Every kick is going to that side at the moment. That was an interesting spread they had on Tom Hawkins as well, down there on the boundary, almost a submission hold in a tag team.
Yeah, it's 7 blokes working on him.
It's a big hamstring, Dennis.
That's right.
You don't appreciate how big he is until you actually stand next to him. He is a mountain of a man.
Same with you.
Oh, he's got massive quads that...
Same with you.
That's right.
Yeah, but
I've just got to remember when I see you and there's trouble, I've got to go low. If I remember that, I'm all right. Get those knees. There's Brown.
Who's under more pressure, Dennis? 0-3, both Fremantle and Melbourne facing next week.
At this stage of the game, Dave, I would say the commentators. Wheatley just pops it over the top. In front, Davey went to ground. Johnson can't believe it. He's incensed. Son of a gun. Davey's got the football at right half back.
Hasn't had a goal so far this year, Davey. He kicked goals in 18 of the 22 matches that he played last year, but not 1 goal so far in the 3 matches to date. Let's hope that he can do something about that in the last term.
Had a good pre-season. There's only been 1 real change for Aaron Davey. He got married.
Well, what's the next part of the story? Kick wide to Whelan. I thought that was the forward. Into Godfrey, to Jones. To fall forward. Oh, good mark, Bartel.
Jimmy.
He is a very impressive player. He plays so tall for the little guy that he is.
It's an important ball here.
2-on-1, Kelly and Corey. But the D's did well through Bruce. Kelly over him.
He's had a go today, Cameron Bruce. Been told during the week to pick up his work rate. Certainly has done that. Got plenty of the football too. Has played the loose role across the half back, but been pretty good when he's had it.
27 possessions. Share something with Chris Judd. They were the only players in the comp last year that had over 22 disposals and kicked more than 20 goals. He was in good company.
Corey, Prismal, now Enright, sets it up on the lead. Mooney.
It's a good look forward line, this. With Hawkins coming out, also Mooney. You can throw Ottens down there. Get back Nathan Ablett. Got Gary Ablett. Got Paul Chapman. In fact, could be the most dangerous forward line in the business when their stars are up and going.
He's directly in front. Missed to the right last time. Good players learn quickly.
Done it again.
He's still a good player. Cam, what are you doing? He's cramped up. He was everywhere in the first half.
Well, and he was doing stuff off the ball too. We saw the hit that he put on Nathan Jones. He was shepherding. He was doing the 1%ers, and it may have just taken its toll.
Dennis is worried about that punt road end. 1 goal, 10, Dennis. It's half time to that end.
Remarkable.
Uze to Wheatley. And those 2 misses are Mooney's first misses for the season. Good kick to Jones. Melbourne just desperate for a goal. They're on 5. They've had 3 goal kickers, and that's a good kick. And Green's been one of those.
Yep. Right here.
One of those goal kickers. He kicked 2 goals in the second quarter.
Nathan Jones has been very good when going inside 50. Hit the target a couple of times now. And there wasn't much space there, but was able to pinpoint it. Brad Green, this is his bread and butter.
Get about 2 metres.
Well, he was a goal kicker early on. He only had the 11 goals last year. Different role, of course. And good-looking kick. He's got 3 for the day. So that's worked, I guess, Ox, hasn't it? Green to forward.
Well, he made his career as a forward. We saw him in the final against the Blues where he kicked 4, I think it was, in the last quarter to actually get the Demons the win. I prefer to see him in the forward line.
Me too.
Yes, he can play midfield. I think most players can, but he's a genuine goal kicker.
Well, Green averages about 1.5 goals a game. As we have a look at the Reverend Neil Danaher, who hasn't got much to smile about. He came in undermanned the first time since 1998. Neither Robbo or Neitz in the team today. And a lot of firepower goes down. But Melbourne forward. Holland. Quick kick by Godfrey. It's a chance. It's a big chance. It's a goal. Do you reckon they can still get up, Ox?
No. No, I don't think they can. I think that'll be Simon Godfrey's first right foot goal just about ever. He's been okay. He's worked pretty hard. They haven't given up, the Demons. They've only kicked 5 goals up until a couple of minutes ago. They've got a couple more on the board, but they're working. They're trying to get through. I think the concern is the next 4 to 6 weeks, how the D's are actually going to score and score regularly.
Melbourne's first back-to-back goal since the 12-minute mark of the opening term. Good bounce. Ottens missed it completely. Slapped forward by Jamar. Coming off the line is Egan. Finds a way through. This will make it interesting. Selwood taken down, taken high. He'll get the free kick. Bit lucky. He was unaware of a Melbourne player being so close. Uze.
Just a bit lazy too, the tackle.
Yeah, clumsy tackle.
over his shoulder.
Selwood alongside the centre circles. Just chips towards the 50. Corey into space to Ablett from 45. Ungainly looking kick. Prismal goes at his fourth. Helped across the line by a lunging Johnson.
I think the next 4 to 6 weeks for the Demons, they start to play some kids, get them in there, see what they've got to offer. I know it's only 3 rounds in, Bruce, but might be a good opportunity just to show the fans what they have got ready to come in.
The Cats have kicked 0-6 in this quarter. After not missing in the second term to that end. They kicked 6 without a miss in the second quarter, and they've kicked 0-6 in this term. Johnson. So he can have a run from half back. And gets the ball along the wing. It's a lazy looking kick, ill-directed. Melbourne couldn't get a handle on it. J-Mar, same problem for him. Kelly being harassed by Godfrey. He's had a pretty good match. Wheatley back to Godfrey, which is a good result, the touch play on, isn't it? Exactly. Got to be a throw-in. Varco, who we haven't seen so much of today, got a goal in the second quarter. Mooney with him. And so much for this group to think about.
I'm not sure if there's a spot for Varco. If Geelong are up and going, Varco will have to be at his very best to push into this side.
And he's just in his second game at 19 years of age, so there's plenty of time anyway.
Corey got it from Ling. Inside the defensive 50, goes out wide. Bell forced to punch away. Ablett pleads his case and is rewarded. Interesting, 4 Melbourne players have played every minute so far. Bruce, Ward, Carroll and Miller. Only Egan has played the entire game for the Cats. Not one you would have expected. Here's Corey, forward of the wing, goes down towards the pocket. Prismal liked his game, leads back in the race, but it's out of bounds. Boundary throw in. Jimmy Bartell, his career high is 35. He's closing. Throwing in. Jones under pressure. Jams it on the boot. Kelly tumbles into this one. Hasn't seen a lot of the football. Coming up for his 14th possession. Scarlett out wide. That's ignored. Comes instead to Johnson. And Johnson inside the centre square. Ablett is running. He's got it now. 70 metres out. Pretty ambitious. Takes on Davey. Do that at your peril. Davey affected the kick. Spilled across to White. Now nobody is back for Melbourne. Wojcinski drops the mark. Ample time to recover. Comes to midfield and Blake. Blake at close quarters to Kelly. Kelly to half forward. Mackie on the lead. Lays it off. Ablett still presenting for the hand pass. Goes over the top. Selwood under pressure. Kicks. Hits the post. He rammed it in there.
It's fast becoming the Bermuda Triangle, this end, isn't it?
What is it now?
Just can't find a way to goal. 7 straight points for the Cats in this quarter. Brown. Do you reckon they're nearly at their top? Harley to come back. King, you would think, obviously in, but they probably can't play both Blake and King together. Here's Bruce. Think about it, Docs. Brown from Bruce. They've actually waxed a bit today, Brown and Bruce, I reckon. And Holland out wide.
David Johnson's the other one.
Steve Johnson.
Stephen Johnson, sorry. He's been playing wonderful football in the VFL.
But he's another tool on the forward line, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
How many can you have? Kelly to Enright. It's going to be a hard team to get into, I reckon. Selwood out wide to Chapman. Brock McLean's the one Melbourne are missing today, as much as Neitz and Robertson, are they?
And also Colin Sylvia, just hard bodies, experienced players that can settle the side down when the going gets tough.
Chapman will go back to Melbourne. We'll use Selwood, who's been very impressive again today. Short, cut off by White, can't quite find it. To Ward, to Whelan, to Uze. And Uze with a little one into the centre. Bell's kick to half forward.
Holland really set a task there. Managed to get boot to ball, but that was all. Wojcinski favoured by that kick. Finds Chapman. Back to Wojcinski. Not afraid to use Blake. Running down towards half forward. Goes long. Bartell at the back. Well, Bruce played it pretty well, actually. Did the unexpected. Got the bouncing ball as a result. Johnson's kick hugs the boundary and goes out. Deliberate.
Oh, that is a very tough call.
Wow. Now that's gone the best part of 50 metres, that kick. And I reckon it depended on the last bounce. That is a ridiculous decision. Here's Enright. Sets it up. Mooney will be hard to beat here. He's too strong. He was in the drop zone.
Let's have a look at this deliberate. Paul Johnson.
If it bounces the other way, the umpire, I mean, that's nonsense, isn't it? Is that nonsense?
It is definitely nonsense, Dennis.
So we've got nonsense in duplicate. Triplicate. Thank you. There goes the kick from Mooney, and he's missed.
Again.
This is not a good way. He brushed the post, but on the wrong side. Not a good way to end a game for Cam Mooney.
Dennis have kicked 1 goal 10 after kicking 8 straight at one stage in this match.
Looking up.
Up here.
Where did that post come from, he said?
Burns crunched by Johnson.
For Neil Danaher, I reckon that he needs to keep playing Paul Johnson. Just keep giving him game time. He's only going to get better.
Free kick. Push him to the ground.
I think you call that a Pyrrhic victory. Why would you bother?
Brown from half-back to Miller.
Brad Miller's the interesting one. His best football's been played probably in defence. Cleaned up Barry Hall a couple of times. Doesn't kick enough goals. Maybe he's a defender.
Wheatley with a floater. Burrell was a hard ball to mark. Little give by Wojcinski to Varco. This will be interesting. It's a floater into the centre. Mackey was a hard ball, got a high tackle. Chapman, well done, and then breaks the tackle, and then handballs brilliantly to the old man, Jimmy Bartell. Delivers.
Jimmy.
The love affair continues, Dennis, doesn't it? You're just sweet on this guy.
If he was a yard faster, he would be a superstar of the competition. Superstar.
Well,
this guy's not far off at
Chapman's hands, his strength around the hips, and he being able to break the tackles, pretty important. But Varco off the half-back line, may have found a spot for him yet.
Margin 57, so to increase their lead at every change. Just hard run from the Cats. Prepared to do it. Prepared to work for each other. Been that way from the get-go. Blake down to Corey. Here it is again. Enright to half forward. Camped in front Mackey. At the back, the hand pass ill-directed from Johnson. Uze goes after it. Sockers it up towards the wing. Now he's outnumbered. This will be difficult. Uze keeps going and Sockers it out of bounds, and that one apparently is not deliberate. The crowd ground.
No, we saw one before. Well, that is deliberate, Dennis, that one.
I think so. The groan was confusion from the mob.
Evened it up.
Uze and Bruce chasing. Cut off by Bartell. Gee, Blake. Has he come of age? And that's the best kick he's ever done in his life to Mackey. I think Stephen King's sitting in the grandstand thinking, gee.
Well, you know if you are, Blake, you're going to get an opportunity, because Stephen King is regularly sitting in the grandstand, unfortunately for the Cats.
Kingy's not far away, they tell us. They've been patient with him, but this bloke's coming of age. Mackey from the pocket, a floating floater one, and belted through by Johnson. So right now the Cats, there is Stephen looking on. Right now the Cats have got the second biggest win of the year, only behind what they did to the Carlton team last week, and that Carlton form looks all the better for what happened here yesterday.
Yeah, it's a bit topsy-turvy though. The Bulldogs in round one, that was their only hiccup, but they're going along quite nicely at the moment, the Cats. Good depth.
Wheel on the short one to Miller, to White, through the centre square. Goes down towards the pocket. Green leads back in the race. The boundary line very close. And Scarlett and he managed to push the ball across the line. He knows he's onto something there, Mark Thompson, but not letting it show. It's a bit like knowing your teacher's Christian name at primary school. Boundary throw-in. Pocket. Clock running down, just under 2 minutes, as you can see, remaining in this one. And Melbourne will be glad to get off the ground. Holland, a hand pass out of the congestion with nobody really in mind. And a stalemate with Jinski and Godfrey, two hard doers. Barnes 15 metres out. So a tough week coming up for that man. But I think most tipsters thought Geelong would win and win pretty comfortably. Doesn't make it any easier, of course. Hunt got it from Ablett to Selwood. He's been handy too, Selwood, in this game, to his confidence. No harm at all as Ling carries it across the line.
It's probably just their start that they'll be disappointed with. They really got blown out of the water in the first quarter and a half, and they had to just hold on and be a lot tougher and more fierce at the contest.
Gary Ablett, mighty fine player, isn't he? Look for Mackie, Wheatley with him. It's had 30, Gary Ablett. 11 and 19. Here's Wheatley. In short, belted away by the cat. Back to Green. He's kicked 3. I reckon they would have taken that at the start of the match, but he just hasn't enough with him. McDonald run down by Hawkins. Prismal's been terrific. Burns sits and waits. Something good's going to happen, you feel. Corey, Mooney, over the back. Mackie chasing with Whelan. Whelan and Mackie. Ball still D1. Whelan, tap, tap, tap. Handball okay. They relieve it, the Demons.
Wheatley out of defence. This is Bell. That was an interesting advantage paid by the umpire. He's seen enough of this game to know that when the ball was in dispute, it had spilled wide from the congestion. He thought, well, Geelong will get it. Based on what I've seen this afternoon, let him go. There's McDonald. That ump knows the game, doesn't he? Down towards half forward. In front is Holland. Juggles the mark.
Good mark. He's been good though, Scarlett, hasn't he? He's run off the half-back line. He's actually changed his game. He was just a dour defender. Now he's a dour defender and runner.
And the clock running through all of that. The umpire didn't whistle time on. Blessedly, there goes the kick from Holland. Long one towards the kick-off line. Green! Well, we did call for his move forward prior to the game. He was moved there, I think, from memory in the second term. And he may kick the last goal of this match. Far too little, too late. This to make the margin 52. And the Demons off to a horrific start. Brad Green gets his 4th. But Geelong get the 4 points.
And look at the scoreboard. 34 shots to 17. Let's go down to the Geelong captain for the day, Cameron Ling, with Ricky Olorinshaw.
Lingy, slow start to the season. The last 2 weeks have been very exciting footy.
Yeah, it's been good. It's good to have a couple of wins. Getting back to sort of the type of footy that we want to be playing. First round wasn't great, but last 2 weeks have been good. I suppose the trick is now to keep that going and have a few more wins.
That's right. Nathan Ablett coming off right at the last minute. That caused your forward plans to be in a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but fortunately the boys stood up very well. Tommy Hawkins was fantastic again in his second game. Moona just worked his ass off, which was great. And they really covered for Nate's loss there. And he'll be right for next week, hopefully, and get the forward structure going again.
Now the pro serves have left Bells Beach. You'll be in the water this week?
Yeah, get rid of them all. It's good. A few less crowds there too. It's nice.
Got you, Lee.
A couple of surfy boys together. Gary Ablett Jr. very good again today.
He's happy with Cameron Mooney's work.
Joel Selwood came in. Brad Ottens didn't have a whole lot to do, did he? But Selwood coming in for Nathan Ablett at the last moment. So 15-19, 2-8-9.
But Blake's work was the interesting one of the match. His form was brilliant.
Let's go down to Tim Watson. Tim.
James, or Jimmy, congratulations on your game. You finally got one through in the last quarter. It was a pretty difficult end to score from, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit windy out here. It was pretty hard to notice from the side, but the ball just seemed to drop at the last minute.
I know Jono likes to fly around. He took a pretty big grab today. You're going to have to get that one back on him.
Yeah, exactly. Just got to keep working, try and get a few up on him.
And it's an exciting young team you got building here.
Yeah, the new boys coming in out of plenty of pace, and big Tom Hawkins up there is a nice target to kick to.
Bit of needlework there too on the eyebrow. What happened there?
Yeah, we had a pretty solid training session on Thursday, and one of the boys accidentally collected it.
Must be very competitive to get a game down there.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the spirit we're trying to build. Every training session, everyone cracks in pretty hard.
Congratulations on your game.
Thanks.
He was terrific. Thanks, Tim. Dennis and Ox, I look ahead. Geelong have got Hawthorn in Tasmania, the Kangaroos at Skilled Stadium, and Richmond at the Telstra Dome, their next three.
They started the day with a percentage of just under 130, and they've improved on that. It could have been a heck of a lot more, but you would think a bit of percentage built into those three as well. It's a terrible thing to say, but the way they're playing at the moment, Dave.
They could definitely be 5-1, and a magic start for the Cats.
Well, they'll be second tonight on the table. And today they had another big win. It was 52 points over the Demons. The Cats coming home grinning at the G.
From door to door, down our kitty.